Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, newly minted as of this past January, Temple graduate Max McGee joins the show, newly minted SportsCenter anchor. What's going on, Max?
Mark, I appreciate you having me on, man. I've been watching and listening to you for years now. You do a great job.
You spoil me. You spoil me. Take me to the journey, my friend, because I caught you a couple of weeks ago on SportsCenter for the first time. I heard this guy just ranting and raving about the Phillies and getting excited for their season. And I'm like, who's this guy? Your partner says, this guy is a Philly guy. And I'm like, now I got to Google him. And there you are. Not only are you a Philly guy, you're a Philly area guy, originally from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and you went to Temple University. Take me through the journey, man. How'd you get to that SportsCenter anchor desk?
Well, it wasn't easy, man. I tell people all the time it was a grind to get here. I didn't expect to be in Bristol, Connecticut in a 5.5-year journey once I first picked up a microphone out of Temple. But I'm blessed. I got an opportunity to go to Temple basically because my mom said, Max, you should apply. And I thought Temple, that's where all the brainiacs go. I'm not getting into Temple. I thought I was going somewhere a lot smaller. And then they accepted me within a week. And I had never put in my deposit so quickly before. I jumped on the opportunity, and then about 6 months in, I found Al Sports Update, the student-run broadcast, and the rest is history, man. And now it's so cool to look back at Temple and realize they're actually running a little dynasty over there. They have people in everywhere across the country. The saying "owls are everywhere" is true. We're the most proud bunch in the country, and I'm really proud to be from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Temple.
That Negandhi character, he didn't go hazing you, did he? To welcome you to the campus up there at Bristol?
He did not, but he has a reputation on campus of being fully into Temple. That people ask me, "Oh, so are you going to be like Kevin now? Are you going to be like Kevin? Where are you from? Are you going to be like him, all Sixered up and Phillied up?" I said, "I'm not that into it. I'm enthusiastic, but we love Kevin Negandhi, and he's been great here."
Yeah, he was actually the first guest we had on this very show when we launched a little over a year ago. So, mad respect to Kevin Negandhi. Now, your the rest of your journey after Temple University is amazing. First off, I don't know how you lost or how you left the barbecue in South Carolina, but you did. I don't know how you left the crab cakes in Maryland, but you did. You had stops in those states as well in your career, no?
Yeah, so I started in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I didn't know where Lake Charles was on the map. They offered me the job, and I had to go grab my iPhone and pinch the map to figure out where it was, the 5th largest city in the state. So that my first introduction into television was crawfish. So that was cool. I was there for about 11 months, then moved to South Carolina. Mark, I'm not going to lie. It was hard leaving Myrtle Beach.
I'm sure.
It's cheap to live. The everybody looks good. It's a tourist destination. The weather's warm, so I had a really good time there. But that was where I feel like I worked my hardest to really get to Baltimore, Maryland, and Maryland was almost like a second home to me. I grew up going there with family and friends, and to be at a place where they had NFL football and Major League Baseball was huge to me. I lived downtown, and it was just a 5-minute walk to the stadiums. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. And the food, like you said, Jimmy's Famous Seafood and the crabs and the crab cakes, you can't beat that stuff, man.
Oh, you just made me so happy. You're a Jimmy's guy?
I am a Jimmy's guy.
Oh, my mom's whole family's from Dundalk, man. I grew up on Jimmy's.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Halliburton Ave, man. Yeah. Jimmy's.
You mean Halliburton Avenue? You mean up there, Halliburton? Yeah. Oh, that's great.
My
God.
I was there every week spending my paycheck over there at Jimmy's. I love that place.
Oh, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it to everybody. People are like, oh, it's a tourist trap. I'm like, it's Dundalk. Dundalk does not have a tourist trap.
People just got to go there to see it for themselves. But Jimmy's is its own little bubble. I love that.
1,000%. So now this was great because I saw this in doing some research for the interview here. Obviously, you put this out. You have it pinned to your Twitter. People should follow you, obviously, at Max McGee TV. These are friends and family members, and then that's you on the right. You used to be a server at Dave's, famous Dave's in Capitol Grill.
Famous Dave's for 7 years, July 4th, 2008 to 2015, and then Capital Grill as a server assistant was just a glorified way of saying busboy. You'd clean up tables, and that's my mom, my dad, and my little sister in the picture.
Oh,
And I felt like it was important to highlight them because they're the ones that were with me through everything, man. When I was making $14 an hour in Lake Charles, Louisiana, when I was making $21,000 or $19,000 a year for Famous Dave's and Capital Grill, they were with me from the start. A lot of people, they'll just see, oh, Max McGee, he's on national TV on SportsCenter. He looks good in the suit and all that with the bright lights and all that. These people were with me, obviously, from the start because they're my parents and my sister, from the gutter to where I am now. And they always keep me humble. They always try to keep me down when I'm getting too up, and they keep me up when I'm going too down. And I love those people. Those people are obviously my family. They're my heroes at the same time.
that is amazing. Good for you, man. Couldn't be happier for you. Let's talk about what's going on in Philadelphia right now as far as these sports teams go. You and I both still get very excited about what's going on in Philadelphia. First off, let's start it off with the 76ers. They're about to take on the Toronto Raptors starting Saturday in the first round of the playoffs. Just your impressions. It doesn't look like Joel Embiid is going to win the MVP award this year. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to go to either Giannis or Joker. What is your take on Embiid and his MVP status?
Look, man, no disrespect to Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Amazing players. I have a tremendous respect for Jokic for what he's done with the Denver Nuggets, especially without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. That man is a monster. He may not look pretty the way he scores, but he scores. Giannis, we all know what he can do. I'm still upset that he sat at mid-floor at the Wells Fargo Center, but he's a great player. Joel Embiid's the most valuable player. And I didn't really appreciate what Julius Erving had to say last week about it, but I think he is the most valuable player. This man had to carry his squad when there is no other option. Tobias Harris, he's not an MVP player. Tyrese Maxey's just a pup. If it weren't for Joel Embiid, this team would be tanking. Simple as that. I think he's the best player in the world right now. I know it goes back and forth between Kevin Durant and LeBron and Giannis and all that. I think Joel, when he is at his best, no one is stopping him.
Mm-hmm. Are you confident he can help carry the Sixers to a first-round victory over the Toronto Raptors, minus Matisse Thybulle playing in games in Canada?
I think he can do it. I don't think how can I be honest?
You're from this area. It's the only gear you have is to be honest.
Yeah. Well, let me just stop tripping. I think he can do it, but I question the supporting cast around him. I don't think it's the Philadelphia 76ers year this year. I think if they make some adjustments with their roster, they can come back next year and win it all. I think Phoenix is going to be in the way, but that's the story for another conversation. I think they can get by the Toronto Raptors, but it's going to be tough, man, without Thybulle. And I'm sure you'll ask me a question about what my thoughts on Thybulle are, but I think just when you have the best player in the world on your team, you always have a chance.
Mm-hmm. In all honesty, here's where I'm at right now, 2+ years into the pandemic world and post-pandemic and then re-enter pandemic and all the stuff we've been dealing with. Like, what are we going to do at this point? People are set in their ways with what they believe. Thybulle's whole deal is confusing to me because he got the first shot and then didn't get the second. So, look, bottom line to me is he's not available in Canada. I don't know what else to make of it.
Look, it's something that we have to accept. We're not going to always respect his decisions or other people's decisions not to get vaccinated, but we can't force a needle into his arm. Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone who has gotten one shot. It's either people who don't get the shot or they're fully vaccinated. There is no in between. So he's an animal of his own kind right now. But he has to realize that when you are a professional athlete, especially in the city of Philadelphia, you don't play for just yourself. You are playing for service for the fans who are paying their hard-earned money to see you perform at a high level. And it's a detriment to not only himself for his health, but it is a detriment to the team. I hope he doesn't get sick again from COVID. I know he believes in holistic medicine and all that, but so that's number one. That's more important. That is, one, his health. Two, the team. I don't know how we haven't heard any speculation from the locker room pressuring him to get the second shot. They need him to win an NBA title. I know he's not scoring. He's not a threat at all offensively, but obviously he's their best wing defender, and they cannot win a championship without him. If I'm Joel Embiid in the offseason, I'm going up to Daryl Morey and say, get him out. I can't have this on my team. I want to win a championship. I have a 2 to 3 year window, especially with James Harden, whose hamstring issues. I don't know what's going on with him. Is he done? Is his hamstring bothering him? What's going on? I got a 2 to 3 year window to win a championship right now, especially with LeBron possibly on his way out for his career. Who knows how much time he has to win. And if Matisse Thybulle is not on board with that, you got to go.
When it comes to Harden, what are you hearing on the national stage about whether or not he is done or whether or not it's just a hamstring injury that keeps on lingering?
People are saying he's done. In every article, every analyst that I speak to off camera from multiple networks, people are saying he's done, and it's possibly because he didn't come into the best shape in the beginning of the season. This isn't just when he came to Philly. This started before the season. Apparently, Kevin Durant was astonished about his level of fitness going into the training camp for the Brooklyn Nets. That's according to a Bleacher Report article. And honestly, I expected more from James Harden. I hope he has another gear for the playoffs, but these are professional athletes, man. I don't think that they can just turn it on. It's very rare that you see a freak athlete just turn it on, especially when you're playing 35 to 40 minutes a night like he was in Philly. You'd think that we would see more glimpses of brilliance, and we just haven't seen it consistently. I've seen this man bent over, hands on his knees more often than not, and I'm really concerned. Next year, I think the Philadelphia 76ers, it could be their year. This year right now, with everything surrounding Doc and the bench and, Joel really only being the main consistent threat, I don't know if we can actually make a run in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So I'm going to go ahead and assume you wouldn't give James Harden that max deal in a year or two.
See, here's the thing. We just have no choice right now. All right, so let's say if we let him go, what are we going to replace him with? Right. We have no assets to trade.
Bradley Beal?
How are we going to get him?
He wants to come here. He just wants to come here. They'll sign him. Everyone will be happy.
If he wants to come here, then fine. Beautiful. Let's go get him. I like Tobias Harris, but you got to give up something to get Bradley Beal. Right. And if Tobias Harris has to go, then see it.
I'm with you.
If Matisse Thybulle has to go in that deal, send him off to DC and let's get a new big three. But James Harden, I pray that he shows glimpses of brilliance in the first round of the playoffs so we can bring him back. Because if we cannot, if Daryl Morey says thanks but no thanks, I'm not paying you $45-50 million a year, then we gotta go.
No, I got you. Last thing on the Sixers, real quick, and then something on the Phillies. Doc Rivers done in Philly. He's in his final days here. How long do the playoffs go?
If he does not make it out of the first round, I think he's gone, and I think you'll see his name being thrown into the hat for the Los Angeles Lakers job. I've been on the record on Twitter saying if Doc Rivers does not make it out of the first round, the 76ers should strongly consider going after Dawn Staley from the University of South Carolina.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Saw that you tweeted that. It's great. When it comes to baseball, now, at the time we tape this, the Phillies are about to play game 2 of their set with the Mets. They're just coming off that 5-run 8th inning to win just last night, again, at the time that we tape this. How good is it, Max McGee, to look at the Philadelphia Phillies lineup and say, this team's never out of it because this lineup can rake?
I mean, once you signed Nick Castellanos, that's when I knew that they were serious about competing. This lineup is extremely dangerous. Once you have Kyle Schwarber getting on base, I know Bryce is going through a mini slump right now, but I know he's going to hit eventually. We saw JT hit his first home run. The Phillies always have a shot with their lineup, and especially if Nola pitches well and we have Wheeler on the mound tonight. I think the Phillies can win the division if they stay healthy and do what they're supposed to do. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And also, Alec Boehm, you forgive him?
I do forgive him because of his honesty. We had a guy in Philly, I'm not even going to say his name. He used to wear number 25. If he was honest with the fans, we would have forgiven him. After all that crap he did, we would have forgiven him. I respect Alec Boehm for this. He's going to make probably a decent dime out of this because of the T-shirts. If I'm his agent, I'm getting some percentages from his T-shirts.
Get a little piece of that. Absolutely. Yeah. That's great. Max, real quick, before I go any further with Fast Five here, I know you did a lot of field work. You've been in the different markets that we covered earlier. What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you while you were reporting from the field on any sporting event or really any topic in general?
The weirdest thing that ever happened to me, a girl came up to me thinking that I was her ex-boyfriend at a stadium. And so she confronted me saying, "Why haven't you called me back or anything like that?" And I said, "I'm literally not him." And I was about to go on live TV, so I had to put that away and then focus on the live shot for WJZ in Baltimore. But yeah, I've been through a lot of bizarre events. That tops it.
That is pretty wild. Sorry, lady, it's just some other devastatingly handsome guy. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm surprised you didn't go with this moment from Baltimore.
Who would think the leading rusher is over? This is the man, John. Oh no. My mom's not gonna like that.
That would have been a little weirder.
You know what, man? I try to just block that out of my mind because it's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
From that guy at the playoff game for the Ravens, and then it happened at the Preakness in my first year in 2019. Some guy came up and randomly kissed me. So I guess I'm just this extremely handsome guy. I just didn't know of my good looks and awareness, but
very attractive.
That's up there on the list too.
For those listening on the podcast, just some Ravens fan went up and kissed the man. That's all that happened. Were you on the infield of the Preakness, I assume?
I was.
God bless you.
And that's my fault. I should have known better, but that was my first year, and things like that happen.
That's a dangerous area. I'm just going to say that for anyone with no experience. Very dangerous area. Max McGee, SportsCenter, Temple grad, Cherry Hill native. Are you willing to play Fast Five with the Farzy Show?
Let's do it.
All right, let me just bring in the band. Wake up, guys. Here we go. Let's get it going here. Max McGee, thank you. All right, here we go. Max McGee, best job before your SportsCenter job. Best job.
WJZ by far. It was a great 3 years. It was home away from home, an hour, 30 minutes away from Philadelphia. The food was great. The people were awesome. Pro sports. And Maryland is sneaky fun in the summer.
Very much so. Absolutely. I thought for sure you were going to say Famous Dave's. I thought for sure you were going to say Famous Dave's.
No way.
Go-to fast food place.
Oh, man. Chick-fil-A. Whenever I'm down on a random rainy day on a Tuesday, it's Chick-fil-A, the number 3 12-count meal. And when it's Sunday, I get depressed.
The only person with a better Chick-fil-A order than you, I think, is Zach McPherson. No. I think he got exactly what you got. Yeah, I think you guys matched. Zach McPherson, soon to be sophomore cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
First date deal breaker. Max McGee, you're on a date. This happens, and you're like, I'm out. What is it?
You're either talking too much about your ex-boyfriend or you chew with your mouth open. I can't handle it.
Oh my! That goes right there with horrible table manners and the talking about the ex. Oh my goodness! Red flags on the play. Red flags all over the place. Favorite city to travel to? Obviously, can't be Baltimore.
L.A.
Wow, really? Okay.
Have you felt the weather out there in Southern California, man? It is magical. It's somewhat tropical. You have Malibu. You have Santa Monica. There's so many different neighborhoods. And have you seen the people out there? Everyone just looks like they're in a great mood. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's the green shakes or anything, but LA is special.
Yeah, it's the kale banana shake, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. And then lastly, you seem like a swell guy, and obviously you went to school on North Broad, so you're a great guy. But what makes you, Max McGee, beep your horn in traffic?
People texting while they're driving. Anytime that we are at a red light and I got to wait any more than 2.5 seconds, you better step on it. face out of your phone and go. I cannot handle texting and driving. I'm not going to lie. I've done it before, and I'm definitely on my way out of doing it. Whenever I'm driving, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But especially if we're in traffic, get your phone out of your face.
There you go. Max McGee, SportsCenter. Guys, we can cut it. Thank you. Thanks for waking up this morning. Max McGee, great catching up with you. Great talking. Great meeting you, my friend. Best of luck to you. Continued success. And congratulations on achieving the dream, the SportsCenter desk, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, appreciate it. And thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll talk to you down the line, my friend. Continued success, as I said. And thanks for joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You as well.